What actually happens to your body when you eat chia seeds every day for an entire year? These tiny black seeds were once so prized by the Aztecs and the Mayans that they were offered to their gods and traded like gold. In fact, the word chia comes from the Mayan word for strength. They understood something we've only recently proven in studies. These seeds don't just fill you up. They literally change your body from the inside out. But here's what most people don't realize. You don't get those results overnight. You have to give your body time to adapt, and the benefits unfold in stages. So let's go through exactly what happens when you eat chia seeds every day, starting with the effects you'll feel within the first few days and ending with the changes that can take as long as a year to fully show up. Now, to understand how these changes unfold, you have to see what's hidden inside these little seeds. Each chia seed is a compact source of energy, minerals, healthy fats, and powerful plant compounds that protect your body at a cellular level. They're one of the rarest plant foods that naturally combine fiber, protein, and omega-3 fats, all in one tiny little package. And because they absorb water so easily, they can hold those nutrients and release them slowly as your body digests them. Inside that mix are also plant antioxidants called polyphenols. These act like shields, protecting your cells from the kind of everyday damage that drives inflammation and aging and fatigue. That protection is part of what makes chia seeds so unique. It's the reason these seeds can sit on a shelf for years without spoiling. And it's also why they can be such a game changer for your health. These seeds might be small, but together they create a rippling effect that touches nearly every system in your body. Not all at once, not overnight, but layer by layer as your body starts to adapt. The very first sign that it's working shows up much sooner than many would think. Within just a couple hours of taking them, these tiny seeds start showing their first effect. Because once chia hits liquid inside of your stomach within an hour or two, whether it's water, yogurt, or the acid in your stomach, something interesting happens. The seeds swell. They soak up roughly 10 times their weight in fluid, forming a soft gel that slows everything down. That gel presses gently against the walls of your stomach, sending stretch signals to your brain that says, I'm full, causing you to eat less without even trying. In one study, people who mix just half to 1 tablespoon of chia into their yogurt felt noticeably fuller. And by lunchtime, they naturally ate about 25% fewer calories without even realizing it. So within just hours of eating them, chia seeds are already changing how much food you consume, which is what starts that fat loss process. Then, within the first 2 weeks of using them consistent, your digestion slows and resets. Chia's soluble fiber starts working its way through your system. It doesn't get digested in your stomach, though. Instead, it travels all the way to your large intestine, the part of your gut packed with bacteria. And down there, trillions of microbes are competing for food, some of which are helpful, some of which aren't. Chia's fiber feeds the good ones, strands like lactobacillus and enterococcus. These are the same healthy bacteria you get from sources such as yogurt and fermented foods. And as they feed on that fiber, those good microbes multiply and start crowding out the bad ones. This is what brings your gut back into balance. Your digestion becomes smoother, nutrients absorb more easily, and bloating starts to fade. Then as those good bacteria keep feeding, they produce something called short-chain fatty acids. These are the natural compounds that act like repair signals that strengthen the gut lining, calm irritation, and even help regulate blood sugar. They're called postbiotics. The end result is a digestive system that runs cleaner and even more efficiently. Now, after using these for 2 to 8 weeks, here's what starts to happen. Every time you eat, your gut decides how fast sugar gets into your bloodstream. If that process happens too quickly, your blood sugar spikes, and your pancreas has to dump out a flood of insulin to bring that sugar down. Then as soon as it crashes, your brain tells you to eat again. That's the roller coaster that keeps people stuck in cravings, fatigue, and fat storage mode. But chia's gel-forming fiber slows that ride down. It wraps around the food that you eat, forming a soft barrier that keeps your body from absorbing sugar too fast. And over time, that steady pace gives your pancreas a break, so it doesn't have to overreact and pump out huge amounts of insulin every time that you eat. In one study, people with early diabetes and fatty liver took ground chia seeds every day for 8 weeks. By the end, their post-meal blood sugar swings dropped 17%, and their insulin release improved by nearly 50%. So if you've been feeling that mid-afternoon crash after your meals, or you don't go more than a few hours without needing a snack, this is the stage where those patterns start to fade. And when that happens, something else begins to shift around the 8-week mark, your liver. Once your blood sugar steadies, your liver finally gets a break because it's not flooded with excess sugar anymore. So it can stop storing fat and finally start burning it. And when that happens, the results show up fast. In one study, people with fatty liver disease ate ground chia seeds every day for 8 weeks. By the end, half of them no longer had fatty liver at all. Scans showed a 22% drop in liver fat and nearly a 9% reduction in belly fat, all without cutting calories or changing the diet. Just chia seeds. That happened because steady, lower insulin gave the liver more room to recover. And chia made that recovery possible, not only by providing fiber to keep blood sugar steady, but also by providing omega-3s to help ease inflammation inside liver cells and delivering key minerals that help turn stored fat back into fuel. Coming up are some of the biggest benefits that chia seeds have to offer, as well as pro tips for how to get most out of them. But before we move on, if you're enjoying this video, please be sure to like it and hit the subscribe button. Doing so helps get this information to people who need to hear it and make sure that you see more videos like this in the future. All right, let's move on to our 2 to 3 month mark. Once your liver clears out that extra fat, the effects ripple out faster over the next few weeks. And one of the first things to benefit is your cholesterol, because your liver doesn't just store fat. It also manages the fat that moves through your blood. And when that system's overloaded, unhealthy particles called VLDLs, that stands for very low density lipoproteins, start carrying more fat than your body can handle. They're the ones that can clog up arteries and drive up triglycerides. But when your liver's healthy again, it starts sending out fewer of these sticky particles and more of the lighter, good HDL ones that sweep fats out of your arteries. That's why after 3 months of steady chia seed use, researchers saw big shifts in people with high levels of cholesterol. Total cholesterol dropped by about 14%. Unhealthy VLDL particles plunged by more than half. And the good HDLs climbed by 25%, pulling their blood lipids back towards a healthier range. Now remember, these weren't people following crash diets or taking medication. Their bodies were simply processing fats the way they were designed to, all thanks to chia seeds. Next, let's move to the 12-week mark, the 3-month mark. Once your body starts processing fats the way it was designed to, the benefits reach your bloodstream fast. With less fat and inflammation circulating around the body and in your arteries, they can finally relax. The walls of the arteries don't have to stay fighting and tense all the time. So blood flow can move more smoothly and evenly. And when that happens, your heart doesn't have to work as hard to push it through. In studies, that showed up as about a 7-point drop in systolic blood pressure after roughly 3 months of consistent chia seed use. And while 7 points might not sound dramatic, it's a major win for heart health. That small change can cut your risk of stroke by about 20% and lower your odds of a heart attack by about 15%. It's equivalent to the same kind of benefit that you'd get from adding a daily 30-minute walk or following a Mediterranean-style diet, both of which are extremely healthy habits. Next up, once that pressure starts to ease off, your body is able to turn its attention to another long-term problem, inflammation. And this is where chia starts to get to the root of health problems, because inflammation is the hidden fuel behind nearly every chronic condition people struggle with: heart disease and diabetes and joint issues, even accelerated aging. It's that low, slow burn inside your body that you can't always feel, but it quietly wears you down over time. Now, here's what's remarkable. Chia doesn't just calm inflammation for a day or two. It actually helps retrain your body to stay out of that inflamed state altogether. In clinical trials, when people ate chia daily for about 3 months or longer, their levels of C-reactive protein, the main blood marker for inflammation, dropped by roughly 25 to 35%. That's the same kind of improvements doctors see when patients start exercising 150 minutes a week. That is a big deal. Just keep in mind that the shift doesn't happen fast. In shorter studies, 8 weeks or less, researchers saw no significant change at all. So it takes long-term consistency for these anti-inflammatory nutrients to build up. Only by about the 12-week mark did the difference become obvious. By then, your body has had time to clear old inflammatory triggers and replace them with nutrients like omega-3s and antioxidants that come from the chia. And when inflammation finally settles, everything else starts to work better. Recovery, energy, immunity, all of it. And then, finally, after about a year of steady use, the benefits of chia start showing up where you might least expect them. In your bones. The calcium, magnesium, phosphorus that have been circulating in your system for months by consistently using chia seeds, those are the exact materials that your bones use to stay dense and strong. In long-term studies, animals fed a diet rich in chia developed bones that were 14 to 22% denser after about a year. Their skeletons absorbed more minerals, and their bone tissue became sturdier and more resilient with age. So, by the end of that first year, what started as a single tablespoon of seeds each day has quietly reshaped nearly every system in your body, from digestion and metabolism to blood sugar, circulation, and bone strength. Now, here's what most people miss. Those results didn't happen because you ate a few chia seed puddings here and there. They happened because you were consistent. Chia doesn't work like a pill that you pop once and forget. It works the way real nutrition is supposed to, through repetition. Every time you eat it, your body gets another dose of omega-3s, minerals, and fiber. And just like watering a plant, it's that steady supply, not the occasional flood, that keeps the system alive. And when you skip days, those benefits start to fade, just like skipping watering the plant. And they can fade fast. For example, the fiber that feeds your gut bacteria only stays active for about 2 to 3 days. So if you stop, those microbes lose their food and your digestion slows right back down. And when that happens, the ripple effect begins. Blood sugar swings return, cravings creep back, and inflammation starts to rise again. That's why research shows a clear pattern. Higher consistency brings faster, stronger results. People who made chia a true daily habit saw better outcomes in everything. If you want the same long-term changes, here's what the studies found worked best. Your minimum dose is 1 to 2 tablespoons per day. Your optimal range is 2 to 3 tablespoons per day. Your minimum duration, at least 8 to 12 weeks to start seeing results. Your best duration is 12 weeks and beyond for full effects like lowering inflammation and improving bone health. Note that going for over 4 tablespoons a day doesn't speed things up, okay? So there's a max that you can take. It just raises your odds of bloating or upsetting your stomach. So keep it steady, not excessive, because when you stay consistent, those small daily seeds do exactly what they're meant to do. They build your health one meal at a time. Now, if you want to take what you just learned and actually put it into action, there's a simple way to start. In my next video, I show you exactly how to use chia seeds to flatten your belly in just 7 days. It's fast, it's inexpensive, and it's made from ingredients that you already have at home so you can have delicious chia seed intake. I will walk you through the recipes step by step, including when to take them for the best fat burning results. So if you're ready to turn everything we just talked about into real visible change, click here to watch that video next, and I'll see you there.